You can teach an old dog new trick story of Howard, 4, MD. The mind, in addition to medicine, has powers to turn the immune systems around. Jonas Salk. As a graduate of one of the top 10 medical schools, and after 4 years of residency at a New York teaching hospital, I was well trained in the science of medicine. I was kind and compassionate, most of my patients loved me, as I them. Yet I adhered to my training. If it ain't in the medical literature and if it hasn't undergone rigid double-blind crossover studies, it must be quackery. And so it went for 40 years. Three months before my 69th birthday, my daughter in California sent me a copy of Quantum Healing by Deepak Chopra, MD, which explores the field of mind-body medicine. For my 69th birthday, even though I felt great, I had a complete medical checkup. I received a definite diagnosis of far advanced prostate cancer. The professor at the medical school again confirmed the diagnosis. He told me there's no cure, but he could slow down the progress of the disease with hormone therapy and I could live 18 to 24 months. At the time of diagnosis, I went into shock and depression in spite of heroic support from my wife and children. My 2 daughters in California entered the picture. Immediately, I started reading books and listening to tapes on healing, started a macrobiotic diet, scheduled a course on meditation, had an appointment with a cancer psychologist, and started visualizing my cancer's destruction. Not one of these modalities was accepted standard medical therapy, and although I performed them with a huge dose of skepticism, I couldn't stand up to my family's forceful persuasion. I was determined to be a good patient and did all of the above regularly and with an attempt at an open mind. It is now 51 months later. I am well but not the same person. I have made a 180-degree change in my attitude toward the practice of medicine. From a narrow-minded, tunnel-vision physician, I am now open to all possibilities. I run cancer support groups and espouse diet, meditation, visualization and psychological support. I receive several telephone calls from cancer patients each week who have heard my story and want to know what they can do to help themselves. Prayer was added about 1 year ago. Although I had heard about the power of prayer and although my family had me on multiple prayer lines, I was skeptical until I heard Dr. Larry Dossey speak and read his book Healing Words. I now watch for numerous articles on prayer and stories on TV. In my own informal way, I speak to God daily. My days start with 30 minutes of meditation, prayer and visualization. Shopping and cooking are part of my routine. I eliminated all animal products and fats from my diet and increased the amounts of grains, fresh vegetables and other foods consistent with a macrobiotic diet. I still see a macrobiotic counselor twice a year. Listening to tapes by Dr. Bernie Sigel, Dr. Deepak Chopra, Louise Hay and others intimately involved in the mind-body connection are also part of my daily routine. In my reading, I found many medical miracles occurring because of alternative therapies. Many of my colleagues still look at me as a nutcase who happened to be lucky and go into remission from my cancer. Why? They don't know, but I do. I had mountains of love and moral support and I chose to change. It saved my life. Story of Dr. Deepak Chopra. A doctor trained in modern medicine faces a life-changing diagnosis, and suddenly, everything he once believed begins to shift. For years, he trusted science, data, and clinical evidence. But when cancer enters his life, knowledge alone cannot answer the deeper questions about fear, hope, and healing. Then his daughter gives him a book, Quantum Healing by Deepak Chopra. Dr. Chopra is not just a writer, he was originally trained as a medical doctor in India before moving to the United States, where he built a career in internal medicine. Over time, he became one of the most influential figures in mind-body healing, combining modern medicine with approaches like meditation, mindfulness, and holistic wellness. He has written more than 90 books and helped popularize the idea that true health involves not just the body, but also the mind and spirit. Through quantum healing, Chopra introduces a powerful idea that the body is not just physical, it is deeply connected to our thoughts, emotions, and awareness. Quantum healing suggests that healing can begin from within. Through practices like meditation, visualization, emotional balance, and belief, we may influence how the body responds to illness. At first, the doctor is skeptical, but with encouragement from his family, he begins to explore. He reads, reflects, meditates, and slowly, something changes. Not just in his body, but in his mindset. Years later, he is still alive. But more importantly, he is transformed. From a man who once believed only in medicine, to someone who now understands the deeper connection between mind, body, and life itself. Because sometimes, healing doesn't begin with a cure. It begins with a new way of seeing. Your body may change with time, but your mind, your spirit, your awareness, they are far more powerful than you think. Don't let fear define your future. Don't let limits decide your story. Because the way you think, the way you believe, and the way you see your life can shape more than you ever imagined. You don't need to become someone new, you just need to awaken the strength already within you.